The weekend price action is nearly here, and the big question is what is going to happen? Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. As we really look at the overall space, not much has changed. I mean, we have just been chopping sideways after we had that major sell-off back down into like the 58K region. Right now, fear and greed index sitting at 44, pretty neutral for the most part. On the 24-hour span, slight green in the market, nothing too crazy. There is a lot of sell pressure as well for most altcoins. On the 7-day span, there is some green, again, nothing too crazy, but for the most part, there is still a sea of red around altcoins. Now, if we go over here to seeing the top gainers and losers in the top 500 in the last 24-hour span, again, we could still see some nice gains across the board. It's nothing too bad, but I always like to bring up the fact that a lot of these are just bouncing back after having such a major sell-off against Bitcoin. Let's be honest, you want to dominate this next crypto cycle and make a ton of money. And the best way to do that is by being a part of the Discord. Currently, it is $100 per month, but the best part is that I'm offering you guys 7 days completely free. You get access to everything. You can cancel at any moment. You don't even have to get charged at all. And you get access to a ton of features like these ones listed out on the screen right now. And don't just take it from me. Check out some of the testimonials that are from members of the Discord. There is a ton of great insights being dropped in there every single day. You need to be a part of it. And if you guys aren't yet, at least just trial it and see if you like it. And you can do this by clicking the link down in the description below. Now, one thing that I will mention in this video, and the one thing that we will talk about, is Bitcoin dominance, because although, yes, Bitcoin has been chopping still, we haven't been seeing altcoins bleeding out as much. In fact, most of them have been stable. And I do even say this about, altcoins like XRP for the most part, because in the last 7 days, not much has changed around the price action, even though Bitcoin has been chopping to the upside and even the downside. Now, talking about that, outside of XRP, if we look at XRP, if we look at Hbar, if we look at, ICP, even Quant, even Casper, on the last 1 month time frame for these charts, guys, they're all similar. Every single altcoin is similar in the sense that they're all down massively in just the last month alone. XRP down 10.12%, Hbar down 25.61%, ICP down 34.34%, QNT down 13.8%, Casper down almost 30%, all in the last month alone. And this is why I say, as we really look at altcoins, yeah, they've gotten decimated just recently. Now, addressing this, really kind of talking about it, where are we at in the cycle? I have been, witnessing a few people calling for a bear market, saying that we're in a bear market. And it's very interesting on how the sentiment is now versus 2021 or even previous cycles as well. And we kind of compare and contrast it. And this was the same sentiment around the November timeframe of 2020. And I said this in a recent video as well. As we really look at sentiment, it is echoing the fear and greed index. And one thing that I will say about the fear and greed index, and one thing that I'll say about this entire space is, guys, this space is dead. If I go over onto, X and I just scroll through my timeline, guys, crypto is basically dead. The engagement is ridiculously low. Nobody really cares about crypto right now. But if we go over here to the path to alt season, I truly believe that we are nearing the beginning phase 2. And the reason why I say that is because if we look at phase 2, it's all about Ethereum. The spotlight is now away from Bitcoin. It is on Ethereum. And I made a post recently actually talking about how we're getting closer to phase 2 and how we're going to start to see the transition from Bitcoin into altcoins. And I do think that we're getting close to that. And the reason why I say that is because check this out. So just recently from Reuters, US regulators could approve spot Ether ETFs for launch by July 4th, sources say. This just got posted on the 26th again. Now, I've been really kind of focused on this. I've been highlighting it. In the Discord, actually, for the premium members, I even did a full-on video call with them, telling them, listen, as we really look at and we prepare for these Ether ETFs, this is going to wake up the altcoin market, and it seems as though the stage is being set for the first, week of July to really kind of have these ETFs launched. And if that is the case, guys, expect a massive move in the market in the month of July. And even over here, we have Ether spot ETFs could see $5 billion of net inflows in the first 5 months. This is coming from Galaxy. We have Ether is more price sensitive to ETF inflows than Bitcoin due to a large amount of ETH total supply that is locked up, the report said. And if we actually scroll down, we could see Galaxy said spot Ether ETFs could see $5 billion of net inflows in the first 5 months. Demand for the new products is expected to come from independent investment advisors and broker/dealer platforms. The lack of staking rewards could limit demand for these spot ETFs, the report said. Now, down here we expect the net inflows into ETH ETFs to be 20 to 50% of the net inflows into Bitcoin ETFs over the first 5 months, with 30% as our target, implying $1 billion per month of net inflows. Pretty interesting. Now, we also have Ether ETFs are close to becoming available for trading in the US after the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, approved filings from applicants last month. The regulator must also approve their S1 filings before the products are cleared to trade. And that's exactly what we're waiting for, right? And remember, we didn't wait too long until the SEC actually approved the S1s regarding the Bitcoin ETFs. I do think that we probably get this within the first week of July. I wouldn't be surprised if we did. Now, beyond that, right? Bitwise CIO says spot Ethereum ETFs to attract $15 billion in the first 18 months. So we're already starting to see the bait getting thrown out there for the retail sector to really kind of get hyped up about this. Again, I do think that this is something that we need to watch for, because I think that this is going to begin that phase 2 of the market. And we even have over here, Ethereum ETF issuers are already racing to drop fees. And this happened on June 26th. And this is Vanek, Franklin Templeton. They're all saying that its Ethereum ETFs will have no fees when it begins trading. So this is going to become a big area of focus, especially if you are holding altcoins, because especially if you're holding altcoins that are tied back to Ethereum, if they are ERC20 tokens, guess what? They will witness a major surge in the market alongside Ethereum. Once we start to see Ethereum really kind of taking off those ERC20 tokens, guys, it's going to be a big deal. Now, outside of this, let's go over here. So I posted this, and I did include this in recent videos as well, and I'm going to bring it back up. I said, just waiting for the impulse. The full moon cycle begins on July 5th. And when I say that, right, the actual new moon cycle begins on July 5th. The full moon happens on July 21st. Now, is this something that we're looking at as like, all right, yeah, this is going to be a guarantee that the market's bullish? No, absolutely not, right? There's no guarantees in the space. But what I look at when it comes to moon phases is we are nearing a new moon phase. And so far, June has been pretty bearish. So I do think that this new moon phase is going to not only bring in, again, if you really want to focus on moon phases, I do think that they are something to focus on. For an example, like FTX and even Terra Luna did happen on a blood moon, which really kind of hinted at, hey, guess what? We're going to probably see a bearish event. So in my opinion, I do think that we need to focus on the moon cycles, regardless if you want to, look at that or not. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying that a new moon cycle does begin in July, with the full moon cycle happening at the end of July, which could hint at a, really bullish month. Now, the first week of July is when analysts are predicting that ETH ETFs begin trading. Price action has been stagnant for over 100 days, just building pressure. What do you think happens next? Like I said, the stage is already set. Now, talking about this, I said, I'm telling you that it's brewing behind the scenes. The largest alt season is coming. It's hard to see it if this is the first cycle you have been a part of, but soon it will be obvious. And here we have a post for myself going back to June 23rd. Again, I just put out a post actually in the Patreon as well, or in the Discord as well, regarding this, right? Because if we go and look at the altcoin market, specifically the altcoin market cap, right? We could go all the way back to 2021 and we can look at where we're at right now, right? Very, very similar overall, pattern here. A little bit away from the recent dead cat bounce back in 2022, just like back in 2018 as well, after we topped out and we were just trading a little bit under it. And then all of a sudden we blasted through it. And I do expect that to happen again this time around. Again, probably happens in the month of June. I wouldn't be, surprised if it happened in the month of June. If it doesn't happen in the month of June, it would be August for altcoins. Remember, altcoins already begin their uptrend in July along with Bitcoin. So the market wakes up in July. By August, we should be seeing new all-time highs for a lot of projects within the space, in my opinion. Now, again, we have to wait and see if that's going to happen. But in my opinion, the overall altcoin market is set to have a big move, and I'm expecting Bitcoin to be trading at anywhere between 80 to 100K by the end of this summer. Now, also, if we go over here from Tech Dev, we have the crypto market in two charts. Bitcoin is bullishly consolidating at its prior all-time high as a massive alt season is on the horizon, and we have Bitcoin on the left side consolidating right around its 2021 all-time highs, and then we have the Bitcoin dominance chart on the right side. As you can see, RSI trailing down while the price is trailing up, aka hidden bearish divergence on the Bitcoin dominance chart. We also have the distribution schematic here where we're kind of trailing in an uptrend, kind of fighting a little bit, if you will, against momentum that is just dying down, and we're just waiting for it to have that major sell-off to the downside. And if we actually look at Bitcoin right now, the number one thing that we are watching for in the Discord is the 786, right? The 786 is the $60,185 level. That is the 786 Fibonacci retracement level. If we lose that, this area down here is my focus, aka $57,282 to $58,421. And the way that this would essentially work out is, while we have, Bitcoin trailing to the downside like this, the RSI, which I don't have on this chart, but the RSI has been printing bullish divergence. The RSI should be doing something like this, aka the opposite move that Bitcoin is printing a hidden bullish divergence, waiting for the big pop to the upside, which will be significant. Or we could just maintain the 786 level. Again, weekend price action is going to be really telling because we do have the weekly candle close this weekend, but we also have the monthly candle close this weekend. So manipulation of price action definitely will be there. But so far on the daily candles, we have well over now 5 daily candles above the 786 that we closed above. So I would like for us to kind of maintain this and then get that big break above 62,500. Again, the big key here is watching for a daily candle close above 62,500 or watching for a daily candle close below 60,185. And that will be very telling on where we head to next. And of course, I will update you guys once we do see that. For real-time updates, I would highly suggest being in the Discord. But outside of that, this is Ethereum as well. So Ethereum has been playing accordingly to our plan of action. When we were trading back here against resistance, I outlined this move in the Discord. And once we broke down past $3,653, we knew that this was going to happen. And again, we kind of overshot this level here a little bit. We ended up daily candle closing over it, so it didn't really matter. We were looking for $3,232 to $3,425. We got it perfectly. We got a perfect tap of this bottom area. Again, major demand. And overall, we did regain the uptrend, which is very bullish because this uptrend goes all the way back here to January of 2024. And now we're really kind of looking for the next impulsive wave above, and this is going to be very telling, the $3,653 level. Once we break over that, we will retest the $3,884 level. I'm expecting a back test of this level, right? And then we go and break out of the $3,884 level. We retarget the March highs, and then we retarget the all-time highs for Ethereum, and ultimately lead in the market with the phase 2 of alt season beginning. Now, outside of that, Bitcoin, the Ethereum Bitcoin pair has been printing out some very bullish moves here, as we did, back test this mid-range perfectly. Again, this is where a lot of support is actually on the, I believe it was the 3-day that we were looking at. It was either the 3-day or the daily. Let me check out the daily real quick on this. So yeah, a lot of support around the daily candles on this level. And also, if we go back in time a little bit, if we go all the way back to 2021, back here, we could see the same pattern that we're kind of printing right now on this chart brewing back here as well. This was around like August into the fall time frame. and we started to break out in December. Again, December will essentially, if this breaks out, January will be our July, right? December will be our June. January will be our July. I'm just going to put that out there because, again, if this is the case, then we're really kind of watching for a big impulsive move above this upper trend line, just like we saw back here in January. Again, just waiting for that major flip. And then ultimately, we will probably get a back test of this, and then we will go crazy. That's what I'm watching for right now on ETH Bitcoin. And then, of course, ETH dominance is also at major resistance here. We want to get a flip of this, get a retest of that upper trend line, and ultimately break out, while Bitcoin dominance continues to break down on the weekly. This thing is losing significant momentum. And if we actually look at like the 1 month on this thing, guys, go back in time to like 2018 all the way into 2019. Guys, this thing, in terms of stock RSI, if we go all the way back to this time frame, this is when it started to weaken. And right now, it's already starting to have a downtrend form on this. This is going to hint at us actually having a sell-off on this chart. Now, again, this is on the monthly, so it is probably going to be a little bit of time before that ends up happening. On the 3-week, again, we could see where we're at right now. We could see where the stock RSI is as well. You know, right now, currently speaking, we're at the midline, so nothing too crazy yet on stock RSI. But if we're really looking at this, it's bearish divergence, right? We're printing bearish divergence as this thing is just continuing to go higher and higher, and we're waiting for the sell-off to eventually happen on the Bitcoin dominance chart. In my opinion, I do think that we're getting close, and very, very close actually, to officially beginning alt season. Again, it's too early just to say like, hey, it's already starting, because it's not yet, right? I do think that we still have one more impulsive move to the upside, but I do think that Bitcoin dominance is pretty bearish right now. And I do also agree with TechDev here in terms of the overall structure of Bitcoin dominance being in this distribution schematic, where we have bearish divergence already printing on the chart in terms of just RSI. But I actually added RSI to this chart. We could actually look at this, right? And we go back onto the weekly. I mean, bearish divergence technically has been printing out on this chart ever since October of last year. So think about how crazy that is, right? We're still seeing this while, you know, Bitcoin dominance from that time has been in an uptrend, just waiting to have a sell-off. So that's what we're waiting for. And even as we look at stock RSI, like I said, bearish divergence is on the stock RSI as well, as you can see here. So we're just waiting at this point. I know that it sucks to just wait and be patient, but guys, it's going to pay off, because even if we look at most of the market right now, we could see the headline articles just really kind of stirring the news a little bit, really kind of, in my opinion, throwing bait into the waters to get more people interested in this. In my opinion, the Ethereum ETF is going to ignite this market, just like the Bitcoin ETF did. And if we go back in time to the Bitcoin ETF, I have it back here, right? It was January 10th when it got approved. The next day, we had a nice wick to the upside sell-off, right? And I don't think that we're going to sell off this time, because we already had that massive sell-off in the market. This was after a major uptrend in the market. And after this, you know, this thing went crazy to the upside. I do think that that's the exact same thing that's going to happen with Ethereum. We might have another, you know, small pullback. Like, for an example, if ETH ETFs got approved, I think that will run up to this, you know, almost $3,900 level, back test this area, and then we'll have that major impulse move to the upside. Again, supporting that we're in phase 2, or getting into phase 2 just right now. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.